I think going back to a little bit of what you were saying of like, what do people get out of this when they start seeing changes? And, it's a big part of it is self trust. A big part of what is developed is self trust. And it's the same thing when you learn how to have, you know, vulnerable conversations with whoever your partner, your therapist, your siblings, your parents, whoever. I mean, the people that you work with, your boss, your manager, being able to ask for accommodations, being able to advocate for yourself. All of that comes from a place of self trust. And a vast majority of humans, ADHD or otherwise, struggle with self trust. And so by starting with these little steps, and they can sometimes feel like mountains, like being on time, like putting your keys on the hook, like, these little things. What happens is if you can realize them, congratulate yourself for them, celebrate them, even if it's just like, you go to leave the house and the keys are where they're supposed to be like, hell yeah, that feels great. Because it does. It feels great. That is a great feeling that you put the thing where it was supposed to go and now you found it. And recognizing that, having that conversation with somebody, advocating for yourself, apologizing. Hey, I was having a moment. I was a bit of a dick. That's my bad. That feels great. Once you kind of get a little bit better at it, it's like we talked about, it's like training for a marathon. You first start training for a marathon, that first mile, you're going to be sore as hell. But that's what it takes is running 1 mile, then maybe a mile and a half, then maybe 3 miles. And it's all going to build accumulatively and it's going to feel really good at the end. And communication and emotional regulation are mental practices. And they're going to feel really uncomfortable when you first do them, just like running that first mile would be. But the more you can push up against that edge and again, develop that self trust, build that self trust, rewire your nervous system that this is just unfamiliar. It is not unsafe. Those are two different things. I know you and I talked a lot about in that first call, your nervous system will choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar paradise every single time. Even if familiarity is toxic and, a hellscape and terrible and all the things, it is familiar. And your nervous system equates familiarity with keeping you alive. And at the end of the day, that lizard brain is going to kick in and it's all there to keep you alive.